Hi, I'm Christina, and this is New Ways Podcast. Today I have with me the founders of Flourish, Nadine and Christina Delgado. Thank you for being here with me again.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
I'm actually very interested to see where this conversation goes today because I had somebody reach out to me on socials asking to do an episode about the theme Women Against Women. And I thought, who better to talk about that with than two lovely ladies who have literally created a community about building up women. So I'm very interested to see your perspectives on the whole like women against women type of topic. On that note, then, I'm curious your perspective on when you hear that women against women, what pops into your brain?
I know. Mine too. It's like, I'm a girl's girl.
Well, that's why when someone reached out to me, I'm like, what are you talking about? Because like at this stage in my life, I feel so blessed where I'm like, we can all win. There's an abundance of absolutely everything. I'm like, yes, you winning is not taking away anything from me. I want to see you succeed.
All win, yeah.
But reflecting, so when she said that, I was like, what? But reflecting back, I don't think I've always had that perspective.
I've never had that. So
You've never seen women against women, or
like I've seen it, yeah. But I feel like I'm such a girl's girl. Like I just want women to like
always been that way.
Yeah, I've always been that way.
You're saying you haven't experienced it.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen it. You know, I mean, I have sisters. And like, I'm one of 7, but like
you're one of 7.
I am.
All girls?
No.
Okay, I was like,
that'd be crazy.
Yeah, not all girls.
I'm one of 4 and it's all girls. Ooh. But that's probably why I have an interesting perspective with women.
Yes.
But okay, what about you, Christina?
I mean, definitely I would think back in the day, it's something I've experienced. I mean, I've experienced, a woman against a woman, semi-recently. So it's not in my sphere, in my bubble, as far as like I keep around great women that I think all have the same mindset as me, but I know it's definitely a thing. And I think naturally it comes from society, but I'm sure we'll get into it.
Okay. Yeah. So back to when you think of women against women, give me some like experiences you've had or things that you think about just so we can kind of define what that actually means.
Yeah. I mean, initially when I think of women against women, I think it's like, I come from it from maybe like a career perspective. Like there's not room for all of us at the table. Each woman, like it's competition to beat each other out. Even when we're talking about like events in LA and like that space, there's a lot of competition, right?
I agree. No, I really agree.
So I think that's what comes to mind for me is like women maybe like, fighting to get to the top, or even when it comes to men and like relationships and stuff like that.
Oh
yeah,
my gosh,
like even like cheating. Like if a man cheats on a woman, the woman comes after the other woman.
I will never understand that actually, though.
Yeah.
Like to me, that's wild.
I understand it.
I get it. I do get it, but at the same
Insecure.
time, I get it, but at the same time, I'm like, girl, that woman, like, no, it's not a good look. It's not good on her part, especially if she knew that he had somebody at home. But I'm like, she doesn't owe you anything really. Besides, like, I think everybody owes somebody common decency. Yeah. But I'm like, he's the one who said he's loyal to you, not the other way around.
What do they call those women? The second one? What is it?
Homewreckers?
Not a homewrecker. What's the word on the streets? Hold on.
On the street.
I don't know.
The other woman, the side piece?
The side piece thought? I don't know.
Side piece?
Maybe side piece.
Because in my mind too, though, like, I don't know what goes on in people's homes, like home lives. I don't know what goes on in people's heads or their past experiences with people. Sure. I don't know why some people think it's like okay to potentially like be that other woman. But at the same time, I'm like, once again, I try not to judge. I'm like, I don't know what their experience is. I don't know what this man was telling this woman either. Yeah, so instead of blaming you, blaming you, I'm blaming him though. Cause like, he's the one who told me he was going to be loyal.
That. Ever.
I know. Although recently on TikTok, I've been seeing some experiences where I'm like, that was actually handled very well. So maybe we're progressing. I think
we are progressing. I definitely, of course, there's always going to be the like lulls, but I think that we are progressing. I think that I have seen women support other women now more than ever.
Yeah.
I definitely think that we are progressing, but it definitely still, the conversation's still a big topic, It's
always going to be, because I feel like women are just, women against women. Versus women.
Okay, so what has been some of your experiences then, or things that you've seen?
I would say maybe work-wise too. just people just competing for spots. I feel like it's just so hard because I don't really know like a
no, yeah, and I do think
it's like work wise, like people compete like just to be.
I do think it's a beautiful thing
like,
that you feel like also that like, and I want to get into this in a little bit of the like future of this episode about why you think you don't have that mindset, because I do believe the values that were instilled with you in a young age, what you were surrounded with, those are things oftentimes that will cause you not to have like the woman against woman mindset. So I'm curious how like your upbringing and like how you think causes you to be surrounded by people who aren't that and not bring those into your life. Where like I can say now that I've like grown a lot over the past like few years, I surround myself with amazing people, and I'm not coming from a lack mindset, but I can definitely say in my like teens and my early 20s, I don't think I was always a girl's girl, to be honest with you. And like definitely there's been times where I've thought things that were not ideal, and I would be like, no, that's insane that you thought that way. But I think a lot of it has to do with my like, for one, I was told that there's a lack of like, say, potential prospects, like good men out there. There's a lack where it's like, if it's you, I lost something. It's not me. It was coming from there's not open opportunities for everybody to succeed. It's like, if you have it, I don't. As well as like, I grew up in a house of all women, 4 girls, my mom, and then my dad left when I was 8. And don't get me wrong, love my family, love them. But to say that we were the nicest to each other is definitely an overstatement. Like I grew up where like we were kind of pinned against each other. And I think that programmed me in a way to a lot of my friends to this day are male. Because for some reason I felt safer around men than females, because I was taught that like females are kind of mean and they're bitchy and they tattle on you. And that was my programming. Now I realize that's not the case at all. Like as adults, it's your job to figure out better and do better. And I'm blessed for seeing these new opportunities and having amazing people in my community. But that wasn't always the case for me.
Yeah, I feel that.
So that's where I see it stemming from, at least. Is there anything that you've experienced recently? I know you said you had one.
Yeah, I got one.
Let's go.
Okay. I mean, similar to honestly what we were just talking about. So I'm 31 for context. I was 30 when I experienced this. But similarly, like I don't run in crowds with women who have that scarcity mindset. I mean, sure, I definitely have someone in my life who have some scarcity mindset. You know, it's forever a journey. We're working on it. But I think for the most part, all of the women in my life are empowering to other women. So I do work in the restaurant business, and I haven't been in the restaurant business for 6 years. So I actually quit my corporate job, came back to the restaurant business. And when I did, basically, long story short, I ended up having a little fun Halloween makeout with this guy that I work with. I went through my ex-Tina era. If you know ex-Tina, Christina Aguilera, Dirty Nasty chaps. That was me last Halloween, okay? And those chaps did something to me. They had powers. I don't know who that was.
Your alter ego, baby. Let's
one
go.
Of them
we all
for
got
sure.
that side.
One of them for sure.
We all have that side. Why not?
Yeah.
I'll admit it.
And honestly, I think it's something that I needed to step into as a woman. Like I've never felt free to express myself sexually. I've always judged myself very harshly from it. And I've always felt a lot of shame around it. So being 30, like when you turn 30, like something just turns on.
Unlocks.
Yeah, you give many less fucks. You really like, I feel so cemented and sure of who I am and what I bring to the table and the way that I treat others, that I'm like, I can go make out with everybody I want. I can go do whatever I want and feel good about it. So anyway, I make out with this guy that I work with. Also, never taking this guy seriously. It's just a fun work flirt. We've been flirty.
Why the fuck not? Have fun.
Why not?
You're allowed to have fun.
And I am having fun, you know? I just quit my corporate job, okay? Left the corporate shackles, went back to the restaurant business. I'm like serving on a beach rooftop bar where I'm overlooking the ocean every day. Like, please. I'm the new hot girl in town, okay? Like, let's be real. So anyway, make out with this guy out at a bar that I work with. Come to find out, he has a whole girlfriend who we also work with. So right under my nose, and I had no idea. And
that's ballsy of head.
I come into work the next day, and of course, one of my girl, it comes up to me and she's like, here's what's happening. Apparently, he has a girlfriend. How do you want to move forward? I'll tell you. I'll tell whatever lies you want, right or die. Like, what are we doing? I was like, bitch. I was like, I'm not lying about anything. Like, I didn't know. this turns into a 6-month like fiasco where the
Lord.
girlfriend, I mean, literally I had to tell the girl that we ended up making out because her boyfriend stayed lying to her multiple times. And I was like, it's
That's
not
very
sounding
big
like
of
you
you,
know.
though.
Yeah,
That's
because
very
I have,
big of you.
number one again, but that goes back to like, I have nothing to hide. And like, I know my heart, I would never, ever intentionally do something like that. And I told the boy, you know, like, I'm like, listen, he's like, what are you going to tell her? What are you going to say? Cause I'm like, I'm talking to her. And I was like, so get everything off your chest right now. Let's do it. Because if she asks me anything, like I'm telling the truth. I don't care.
Yeah.
So it turned into this whole thing. I'm the one who told her we hooked up, and she came like texting other people at work saying, watch your back. Christina's coming to hook up with your boyfriend, like trying to like home wreck relationships.
This is crazy.
She was awful. Stemmed from insecurity, of course. Obviously, she feels threatened in some way, which is so valid. Like you did just get cheated on.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure.
You've been lied to right under your nose, you know, from this new girl at work. Like you don't know me, all of the things. So I can understand her place, but it went on really long. And it was like the first time since high school, like senior year, junior year of high school, where I felt like honestly bullied. And I felt like my kind of, I just think it was taken so out of, you know, out of place. So that's been a recent experience that I've had. And it reminded me that there are still women out there who are just insecure. Cause I look at that and I'm like, you're threatened, rightfully so. You're insecure.
Yeah.
And you don't know how to channel your pain because she's just in pain. And she's just trying to fuck up anything that she can with me because she's feeling some type of way about her own relationship. And she's not having boundaries to prioritize herself and what she needs with her partner. You know, she's not having those conversations. So that is like a woman versus woman thing that I really like. I haven't experienced in years. And it went on for months and months of her trying to ruin my reputation in different ways. And I confronted her, you know, I confronted her a couple times, and it ended up just kind of dying down because I think like no one was listening to her. And people are like, Christina Delgado, you know, like she's not going to be like that. That's crazy. So I think the game just kind of stopped. But
so do you still work there?
I still work there.
Okay.
I still work there. They still work there. We be working the same shifts sometimes. Yeah.
Well, I do love that how like for one it died down because it's like when people actually do know who you are, that's where I'm like people can say whatever the fuck they want. They're gonna find out eventually anyways who I am, and then they can judge when they know me for who I actually am.
Totally.
Too, and I'm like I can definitely see where the girl's coming from, like insecurity or threatened. And to be honest with you, like I know where I'm at, and I definitely am a girl's girl. Like will own up to my own shortcomings, and that's where I can say even like if that happened to me, I feel like I would still like look at you and be like, I don't blame you, but I still don't like you.
Fair.
But I would never ever go around like talking shit about you. So I'm like, I'm like, realize your feelings are completely valid. It's okay to feel some type of way when something wrong has been done to you, even if it was unintentional.
Yeah.
Like your feelings are valid, but it's like you have to sit with them and realize, okay, like I don't like this feeling in me. Why is it coming up? Is it something I can work on? Versus blaming everybody fucking else for your insecurities or for what's going on.
Yeah. And not to mention, she knew that I had a crush on him the entire time, and like had multiple situations where she knew that like I was being flirty with him or whatever, and she chose to never say one thing.
Okay, that's a little weird.
And it did, and that's why it came a little bit more grimy because I was kind of like, you're intentionally, and her best friend knew who I was friends with, literally witnessed me and the guy flirting like at a happy hour. It's like people around me knew and chose to not tell me, and it did feel very gimmicky and setup-y.
I feel like in a way maybe that just says something about who he is too, and I don't want to jump to conclusions, but I'm like, if people know that's his norm, then I'm like, girl, maybe you should reevaluate the relationship to begin with. Like if you're with a man who it's like it's normal for him to be flirting with these women, like that's on you. You are the one who chooses to stay in the circumstances that are going on in your life. Nobody else is to blame for that. You're the one who chose that man.
Yeah.
So it's like when people show you who they are and continue to do so, how are you going to be like, oh my gosh?
Yeah, believe them.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you why. It's because there are women who have that scarcity mindset around finding their life partner and having the babies. You know, she's 35. And like,
that's a big,
when you're 35 and you feel like maybe that's all you have, like she did have like a very serious relationship before that. It's like when you feel like this guy is all you have because now it's like I'm getting older.
But that's a whole other thing that's coming from an area of lack and like I need you to fulfill something something in me, and without you, I'm not okay. That's a whole nother thing. That's not even like women against women at that point.
That's like
where it's like that's just you will blame anybody in the world because
and it's you
God
against
forbid
yourself.
God forbid you accept accountability for the life that you've created.
Yeah.
You should grow and be acting like that.
But yeah, I completely agree with like that's just bizarre. That does sound like some high school shit. I'm not gonna lie. That sounds like something I experienced.
But you know what? It all had a lesson and it taught me a lot. But,
yeah, and hopefully too, she's there also reflecting. I do believe once again is like the past is there to teach you lessons. So hopefully now, especially if like she gets to know you better and sees that you're actually an okay person.
Yeah,
that's even more like, oh shit, it wasn't her. Like this is
the question is, are they still together?
Of course.
So there we go though. I'm not gonna
didn't go anywhere.
I'm not gonna dissect people's personal like issues, rooms to grow, relationship. That's not why we're here, but I get where that's just like what the actual fuck.
Yeah.
I do believe there's lessons to learn in this, and I do think that you did mention some really key points. Like for one, I love how you're like, I'm out here owning my fucking sexuality. I feel like that's something that women will judge other women with very quickly, depending on their upbringing and their values. And by all means, like, if you want to cover up, that's fine. I'm not going to say you're a prude. I'm just going to say that's your style. Me, I'm driving in my convertible with a bikini top on, not giving two fucks. And I'm loud and proud about it. If I want to be half naked, let me. That does not mean that I'm a slut or a hoe or my values are any less than yours.
Totally.
I think that when you're like, I'm owning my sexuality and who I am and I'm just having fun right now, to me, that is one thing that we can also like squash with women against women. It's like, just the amount of skin you choose to show or what you choose to wear does not define you or represent your value at all.
Totally.
So I really love how you brought that up. Where do you think all these things, like, I know that kind of was related to like insecurities within herself, where besides just personal stuff, where do you think generalized where these values or this hate came from to begin with?
I think like you said, like the upbringing, what you see, like what you see. If your mom was with friends and like you see them do something like that,
gossiping, talking shit,
or through school, like that happens in school. We're in school like half our freaking life, you know. So it's like you see that and you think that's an example for it. If you don't have an example, how can you be better? Like,
And I think society too, like,
for sure,
I mean, when you're watching the rom-coms, when you're watching movies, it's
Jersey
like the
Shore.
woman's going to come for the woman. And like,
always.
it's rarely is it ever, let's hold the male accountable or let's take a guy out of it. Like, let's just let it be like an all female movie. There's probably going to be some sort of plot at some point where the woman is against the woman for whatever reason. And that is
the drama of it.
For the drama, like, women are emotional, women are dramatic, women are bitchy, women are, you know, all of these things.
And we are all those things at some point, don't get me wrong, but that doesn't mean that like they all serve a purpose in certain contexts. That doesn't mean you should be blaming anybody else.
It's a blame game. Right? So that's the problem.
So I think it's just what we see. I think it's like, I mean, think even when you're younger, like as simple as like America's Next Top Model, like we're seeing like so good, you know, but you are seeing like women competing against each other. And sometimes it's like them being a little nasty or dirty to each other or getting picked apart, you know, by Tyra Banks, like whatever it is. Granted, it's for, you know, where there's a reason, there's like an intention behind it, right? But we're young and we're watching that. And I think that's a lot of it too. It's society and it's media, it's the visuals that you see.
It's also so intentional too. I feel like when you are trying to make a TV show, there's always a villain. There's always a villain.
Has to be,
it's always a woman.
The Bachelor, who's going to be the villain.
See, but so many, that's the thing. I think that's where we get shit mixed up is because we call them reality shows. But I think now in this world, we're also realizing too, these reality shows are scripted. They put shit in there to stir the pot. Because what makes good entertainment, keeping you at the edge of your seat, like, but now we've skewed, just like with Instagram, we've skewed reality shows, reality and actual reality. Because like I've even listened to, like, I listen to my fair share of podcasts, as you would expect. And they'll even say, like, it's funny because there was this one feud going on with, like, I guess 50 Cent or, like, maybe that was the rapper. Sorry if I get this wrong. And Kanye. And he's, like, at the time, they were, like, beefing in the media. But I saw them together and they were actually friends. Like, you never actually fucking know. And if you try to mimic all these things of what you perceive as normal, like, it's kind of a disaster waiting to happen.
Never know.
So how do you think then, and I do think that there are certain areas where it's, like, one woman has to be chosen, right? How do you think we can de-escalate now from hating each other and blaming each other and that lack mindset to being like, you know what, whatever it is, and I'm going to love and support you either way? How do you think we transition now from like, we've been programmed, we've been trained, we've seen all these things in the media in our homes, but like now that we get to set the standard now.
like,
we get to change.
Join forces. Like,
but how? Also, I'm
join
curious,
forces.
what was your upbringing where you were like, I don't think that I am ever like a woman against women? Where do you think like you got that from?
I'm one of 7. I'm a middle child, number 1. Definitely like born and raised the island style, like I'm Jamaican. And I feel like I have, there's 7 of us. There's originally it was 4 boys, lies, 5 boys, 2 girls. I have a transgender sister. So now I have like a sister that I'm like learning. But I feel like, and also my mom struggled. Like my dad wasn't around. So like watching her work so hard made me realize that like, let me help my mom. Let me help her do this. Let me help my sister. Let me help her put my brother to bed. Like, so like watching her work so hard, it's like when I see another woman, like I want to like help them or like work with them. And I never have like the competition or anything like that. It's because I didn't see it. Women raised me.
But do you feel like you were loved by those women deeply?
Loved very deeply by them. Like, so that makes a difference. My grandma, my aunt, my mom.
I do think the way that like your parents probably talked to you too, where like if your parent like slut shamed you for the outfits you were wearing instead of coming from an area of understanding and trying to educate on maybe you shouldn't wear like the super mini skirt to school.
I never
or
got
something.
that talk.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. I'm like, it's a difference to see like actual true love for like who a person is and how that will influence their upbringing versus somebody who's like potentially like demonized for like having a boyfriend at a young age or dressing a certain way or like having multiple women in comparison in the family.
Yeah.
So I think that's beautiful. So like people can relate to that and how they raise their children. Then like once again, like you're the ones that's going to break the generational curse, choose to do so. So I think that's very beautiful.
Yeah, for sure.
What are other ways do you think right now if somebody's struggling, they can be like, to flip their mindset of like, I'm sick of hating women. I want to have women friends. I want to support. How can I like flip my mindset? What things would you tell yourself?
So I think it's like, first of all, becoming aware of that. So that's the first step right there. You know that there's a way that you're thinking that's no longer in alignment with how you want to feel and how you want to represent yourself every single day. So being aware of that. And then I think it's taking accountability, realizing that you have control over everything you do, everything you say, every thought pattern you have. You get to change that at any time that you choose to. So I think it's becoming aware, holding on to that. And then I think it's as simple as like, what's a belief that you have around women? Like ask yourself when you think about women versus women, or you think about another woman getting a job that you want to get, that you applied for. What's the first belief that you have that comes to your mind? What's the first thought? Dig to the root of why you think it's that way. Sure. You know, close your eyes, do a little meditation if that works for you. Like ask yourself, when's the first time that I learned this belief that I have to compete or I'm not as good as other women if they're getting further, or whatever the belief is.
Yeah.
And then challenging that, looking to see like, where is there proof? Like, do I have any women in my life who I see that are empowering, who bring good vibes, who support other women? And then that's your proof. Now you sit and you hold that. And then it's just feeding yourself a new belief. So if the belief is there's not room at the table for all of us, I have to fight my way to the top over other women, I have to step on other women. You choose that you want it to be there's room at the table for all women. That's your new belief. Reiterate, repeat. Breath work, you know, like meditation, where you're just repeating that over and over.
That's the recipe right there.
Yeah, I'm literally giving you the recipe. That's how you rewire your brain. You change your belief system
completely,
and then you put yourself in the spaces to show that new integrated, or really integrate that new part of yourself and embody what you say you want to be and who you want to be and how you want to think.
Facts. I do think that a lot of people would hear that though, because we do also, I'm not generalizing, but a lot of people want things right away. And I think accepting that like you changing your patterns and your beliefs and your values, it's gonna be a journey. Yeah. It's gonna be continuous practice and implementation and reflection on like catching those thoughts before they happen. And like if they do happen, like reflecting on them and learning to grow from it. I do think that a lot of people are like looking for a quick fix, and it's like when you're reprogramming your brain, like it's not. And I do believe that the more you implement it and the more you actually like believe it secretly in your body, like the easier it will get. But like you have to also realize why you're doing these things too and what benefits you want out of it. Because like if you're just doing it because you think it's good, like it doesn't often stick as quick as it will.
Then you're like acting versus trying to do it.
Exactly. And I do believe it, fake it till you make it. Like Joe Dispenza will talk about like be your other self that you want to be, walk and talk that step. So I do believe that, but it has to be something that's genuinely in alignment with you and you understand why you did the other thing in the first place and why you want to move forward.
Yeah. And I think like speaking kind to yourself in those moments where you do slip up or that same thought pattern comes, because if you're not speaking kind to yourself and treating yourself with compassion, it's very likely that you're not going to be able to do it for other people because you don't know how to hold yourself. So it's like being gentle to yourself in those moments. That's the healing part, right? It's like not going over the same, you know, saying the same thought and then attacking yourself from it, or telling yourself that you're not good enough or you're never going to heal or your thoughts never going to change. It's like facing yourself with love, compassion, grace. And then you get better at doing that. And then you're naturally going to do that with, to share that and to be that with other people.
I really love how you said that, because I feel like oftentimes too, when we're on our healing journey or we're trying to find out where like a block or something was developed, we look externally. And don't get me wrong, a lot of the external forces is what's created something internally. But I do feel like we also have to look internally as well. And I'm like, coming from a version of myself now, like with you, I absolutely fucking love who I am. And I love the community that I'm surrounded with. I'm like, I don't really hold that much hate at all in my body anymore. Like it takes a lot to phase me. So I'm like, if you're actually like hating other women, a lot of times things that you hate about other people are a reflection of yourself.
You hate yourself.
So I'm like, do you actually hate yourself? And if that's the case, like you need to start loving yourself. Yes, do those like techniques.
Come to a Flourish event.
Yeah. Come to a Flourish event. Yes. But I'm like, you genuinely do need to love yourself first before you can love and appreciate absolutely anybody else. So I really, really love how you said that.
And those steps you just use on yourself.
Over and over again.
That's still the exact, that's actually the game plan. Like that is how you rewire your brain. So it's like, even with self-love, it's like you have to teach yourself to like yourself. You have to teach yourself that those things that happen to you aren't a reflection of who you are, and they're not your fault, and they don't have to be your story. Like you have to choose that and then change it too, you know? So yeah, totally with you on that.
Life's your book.
It is. Have you ever had any pivotal moments when it came to like you learning to love women a little bit more deeply, or where you just had an experience and you're like, oh shit, like something clicked?
I mean, I grew up with it, but also like my
What's
partner. I love my girlfriend. Like she's like my everything, you know. So it's like, I guess if you can actually love a woman like that, it makes a difference too.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's a unique lens.
It is.
Yeah.
What about you? Any experiences where you're like, oh shit?
I mean,
anything you've seen where you're like, yes, that's what that shit's all about.
Yeah. I mean, I'm an older sister, so naturally I'm like, I think of my little sister and every woman. I'm like, you know, so that would be one thing. But I would say where I've really like seen that. I mean, I think just being in the healing space, honestly, like it's such a vulnerable thing to like say that you want to be different and then like do that. And I think like the people that like, for example, like people that come to our Flourish events, people that come to my breathwork events, like there are women that come in there and they support each other through other, like sometimes we'll just chop it up in the beginning. Like there's no game plan and we're just talking about life, and like just seeing how women will hold other women in such a vulnerable space. I mean, that teaches me, and that just like backs me in everything I already know and feel and like do, you know? So I think just like seeing examples of that. But I think I saw a great example in my mom. My mom's like the most loving, you know, she loves women and like she works her ass off, you know, always has. So I think I've seen constant reminders of that, honestly. But also in spaces where like you see other women apologize and you see other women like be like, hey, actually, I'm going to own my stuff. Like I did not go about this the right way. I've had to do that, you know, like I've been on the other side of people's pain and I'm never happy about that. So seeing other women that are willing to take accountability and apologize also, I think like continues to open up my eyes and be like, that's right. Like there's still, that's still a thing, you know?
I think that's actually been one of the most beneficial things for me, because like I've expressed how I've definitely had like a woman wound from like childhood, whatever. Once again, love my family, but saying it was an ideal circumstance is a little bit of an overshot. Yeah. And I think the communities that I've put myself in, and that's where I'm like, holy shit, like I'm not saying you guys lead. Actually, you do. You lead by example in a way when you're actually, if all you've known is chaos and all you've known is women against women, find those communities where like, you know, the women are going to build each other up. And honestly, that shit's infectious. You see people like radiating and supporting. And even when you show up and you're kind of down and they're still there to hear your story and hear you in non-judgment, that does a lot of healing for the soul, is when you realize that, hey, like this is what I've experienced, but this doesn't have to be what I'm constantly experiencing. And you put yourself in different environments. That to me is super healing and super nourishing. And it will even get you out of like a rut that you didn't know you needed. I'm sure at your events or like with breath work, there's been times people walk in and they hear something and they're like, holy shit, I actually didn't even know I needed to hear that, but it hit at the right moment.
Yeah.
So putting yourself in communities where if you're like, I'm over this like lack mindset, I'm over this like women against women mindset, put your those communities. And that's where I can even say now, like, I have so many female friends that I love deeply and we're building each other up because it's those communities.
Yeah.
I think is the most beautiful thing on earth. And I'm curious if you guys can elaborate on this by a little bit, if you've ever had some type of block with this, but something that surprises me recently over the past few years is like my acceptance for people being who they are. This is a little off topic, but like we're in LA, right? Like a lot of people we know out here do like OnlyFans or like dance on stages. And for some reason, when I was in Chicago, I bartended, I was in the service world. But the bottle girls who would always like half naked, I was like, ew, why would you ever do that? And now it's so weird though, because
came across my mind.
See, but like in my 30s now, I'm like, this is how you can progress, and I'm sharing this because like now even looking back, I'm like, why was I judging those women? Why? Now looking back, I'm like, make your bag,
like,
girl. Hell yeah!
And like I want to be wearing that outfit too. Like
I do wear those outfits.
I want my ass cheeks out. Come on.
Yeah. But I also realized in my early 20s, I was feeding into the stigma of like housewife, and it was repressing my freedom and my emotions in a way. And I was like dressing like I was 50 when I was 22.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, that wasn't fun. I didn't enjoy my life. And that's probably why, it's because I felt like I needed to dress that way because that was the standard I grew up in. But now I just love how that's how I've progressed. I'm like, fuck yeah, do your thing. I don't care how you make your money, how you do your thing. By all means, get your bag, have fun with it. As long as you love yourself, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
I agree.
You know what I mean? Are there any times that you were able to show yourself? Ooh, since we're talking about self-love too, and I feel like that's the key to a lot of things. How do you guys love yourself?
Oh my goodness. I love me every part.
But how? What do you do to like nourish that relationship?
Oh my goodness. I love to paint.
Okay.
That taps into like whatever I'm feeling, I'll paint it out. I learned guitar, so I'm still learning how to play guitar. So
okay. Guitar's not the easiest instrument
it's
either.
not.
I've been trying.
It's not, but I've been doing that and just like giving myself that time. It's so crazy with like school, work, life, news, like everything that's happening. My own personal like issues that I have with like family and stuff too. It's like you have to like step back and give yourself at least like 10 minutes or time for yourself. So like I make it a priority to give myself time, because it's like if you don't give yourself time, then it's like you're gonna be constantly on this like merry-go-round of like, okay, I'm gonna help this one, I'm gonna do this one, I'm gonna do that one, I have to go to school, I have to do homework. And I feel like I love myself by giving myself the time to pause and like okay, this is my time, everybody leave me alone, put my phone do not disturb, and that's it. So that's that's like self-love for myself.
Yeah. I'm a firm believer you need that time alone. I'm like, self-care is not selfish. You need it in order to like show up for yourself and other people and not act irrationally when certain circumstances come that challenges
for sure. Take
your
a break,
emotions.
step back and look at yourself from an outside, like be a fly on the wall in your own life. Like,
hell yeah. What about you?
I think I do a lot of things, honestly, but I think the biggest thing that comes to mind, this is definitely something I've been learning and practicing in my inner work journey, is I don't ever do anything I don't want to do.
yeah,
Like I'm
good.
just not willing to give up my time and energy just to check the box or to people please or to not hurt someone's feelings, or like I just don't believe in that. And I think that when you are able to prioritize yourself in every single situation, some people may call it selfish. I think that being selfless is such a scam. I honestly think it's such a scam.
It is.
Selfless, that means you're taking yourself out of everything that you do. And I used to do that. That's what had me resentful, angry, popping off at the mouth, you know, like I was in pain, and it's because I was constantly choosing everyone else over myself. So I think that's the biggest act of self-love that I show to myself, is not doing anything I don't want to do.
Yeah,
That's
like no
huge.
is no is no.
We love a boundary.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
I'm a baddie with boundaries.
For sure. And I love how when you walked in here earlier today, you were like, if it's not a fuck yes, it's a fuck no.
And that helped me so much with boundaries. If it's not a hell yes, it's a no. You can get caught overthinking all day, all the time if you want. If it's not a hell yes, it's a no until it feels like a hell yes. And you can wait and you can tell people, hey, I don't have a response yet. I don't know if I can make that yet, but I'll let you know as soon as I know for sure.
Yeah.
You know, like I do that all the time. Like how many times are we like, girl, I started my period today. I cannot go on that hike. I'm sorry. I want to get that exercise, but like I cannot go on that walk. Like I'm not, you know, when we're talking about bowling or doing things, like it's like I don't want to do that.
Yeah. And it's okay. I love how you mentioned that though, because I feel like a lot of times people are like, I'm like, definitely don't be that flaky friend. But if you're being,
of course not.
But if you're being honest and you're like, hey, I tell people all the time, I'm like, I don't like making plans that far out in advance. And I will tell you, hey, like I'm a different person on a weekly basis. Like I will never commit to, if I commit to something and I know it's important to you, I will be there. But at the same time, I'm like, it's okay to change your mind. And once again, it is okay to be like, I know me and I might not want to. And that's not something that's like that important. So I'm just I'm gonna take my time with it. And that's completely fine. Yeah. I don't know when we got into this idea where it's just like, you have to be selfless.
Yeah. Well, I think that goes back to like what we're taught about women. And I think that's like women's place. Like from the very beginning, women have never been there for themselves. They've always been made to support their partner, to raise the kids, like to do the things at home. Like back in the day, like in the original times, like you're not told like, oh, you can go and build your dreams and make your dreams come true. And you don't have to have a family and you don't have to birth and you don't have to cook. Like we aren't taught that. We're literally taught the opposite. So I think that that's such a key part in like being a woman and self-love and supporting yourself is like paving your own way for whatever it is that you want to do.
Yeah.
You know, like
whatever it is you want to do. Cause I also feel like now too, we love to go to extremes for some reason where now there's that whole movement where it's like independent, strong woman. You have to be doing everything by yourself. Like, no, I'm not going to, we demonize like trad wives now. You guys heard that term, right?
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
wait. What's the term?
Traditional white trad wife.
Okay, let me get up to speed.
Trad wife. Yeah. So I've heard people like talking shit about what is Emily Bobby Brown, who's like, I've got chickens and goats and I love being at home. And I'm like,
I love that for her.
Yeah. I'm like, I go through my bad bitch stages, but then there's other days where I'm just like, I would love to like cook some apple pie and cozy up and clean my home.
Yeah.
Like,
shit. It's really getting a little exhausted out here working all the time.
A girl be tired trying to accomplish shit all the time. Like, that's what I mean. I'm like, once we have such radical self-acceptance where it's like taking care of yourself is not selfish, being who you are, being loud and proud of it. And if anybody has a problem with it, honestly, fuck them. I do think that there's a little bit of a boundary between you being like toxic too much to yourself.
Totally.
But I'm like, if it's for the good of all and the harm of none, like speak your truth, be who you are, and take care of yourself. Because in the medical field, we see this too. You cannot take care of anybody else if you are an emotional, physical wreck either.
Yeah.
We see those families that come in and their patients like super sick in the bed and they're crazy. I'm like, you do realize you are adding to their stress level as well.
I'm like, you need to leave.
Leave. Yeah. I love that. And I just think, honestly, I think in a lot of realms, radical self-acceptance of just like who you are, being honest and like radiating that is the key to so many things, and not feeling ashamed for whatever the fuck you want to do and not judging other people for whatever the fuck they want to do.
What they want to do.
And I think with that, like when you do that, when you sit in that authenticity, you will attract other people who have like vibration. Like you're not like, we don't really actually probably all of us, like we all don't really experience like this woman against woman thing because it's literally not in our realm. Like it's not in our dimension. Like we don't see it. We don't feel it. I'm not attracting women who are feeling that way except for that one time.
You feel but you know, then it's like you I mean, I go the other way. Like, I'm sorry, nice to know you, but I don't need to know you.
You remove yourself, or you're just like, I meet it with compassion, and I don't take it as a reflection of me. If another woman is talking down on me, I'm just like, honey, what you got to heal? How can I help you?
Yes,
like that's it. Because I'm like, when you don't have hate towards yourself, like I don't know, I just don't have hate in my heart anymore. But it was funny because that was my reaction when she's like, women against women. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
But then I had to remember back to my past life, and I'm like, oh shit. Like, and if anything, take me as an example. You can grow and you can get out of it, and like genuinely like loving yourself and surrounding yourself with people who love themselves too is the key.
Yeah.
I love that so much. I'm trying to think of something good to close out with now, you guys. Normally I'm like, fuck yeah, I can think of something, but
I don't know. No,
I know. Like Christina.
I think Christina does. Christina.
I'm sure I can always riff like about women, just like
If you had to give them, okay, yeah, there we go. How about if you had to give a message to the woman of the world, what would it be?
Okay.
Should
Let's
you go
get
first?
it.
I went first the last
All
time.
right. Okay. All right. So if I have to give a message to the women out in the world,
Yeah.
what do we have to say? I would say that we are in 2025 and the year is almost over, and that you don't have to fit in a box of what you see on like TV and social media. Be yourself, work for what you want, and I don't know, just be a baddie. Like it's be a baddie, you know, just do what you want to do when you want to do it, on your time, and there's no rush. Just take your time, and yeah, I think that's it.
That was beautiful. I love that.
That was beautiful.
Yeah.
I love it. I echo everything that you said. I would say also, like, you are in control of your own life. Like, you have power over everything you do, everything you say, and the way that your life looks and feels.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
so if it doesn't feel good, you get to choose to change that anytime you want. And you are capable of changing that. I think that's one thing that women don't hear enough. You are capable. And you are resilient, and you're strong enough to do whatever it is that you want in a loving way, if that aligns for you, which we hope it does. We want more love and light in this world. But yeah, I think just like you are capable. I think women don't hear that enough. I think small girls don't hear that enough, that you're capable and you can literally create your dream life. If your life doesn't feel good, you can change it. I think that's that's the biggest thing. Love other women, give other women grace, give yourself grace. When you get better at doing that, loving yourself, supporting yourself, everything around you, you're going to love better too. So take your life seriously.
You're not stuck.
You're never stuck.
Never stuck.
No.
Never stuck.
Only if you think you're stuck, then you are. Whatever you think, that's what's going to show.
Yes.
But I love both of those. I could not agree more. And I think mine would kind of be is this universe is fully abundant. And this applies to women in any aspect of anything in life, is like, this universe is abundant. What is for you will not miss you. There is no lack anywhere. If you think that you are in competition with anybody, squash that belief, because you're not. You are only in competition with yourself. And as long as you are acting in the best version of you and truly authentic to you, the right things are going to come. Anything that doesn't, it's never a loss. It's that was not for me, and it's a redirection of the thing that is. So stop coming of that mindset where it's everybody against each other, or that there's not enough to go around, because honey, there is plenty to go around, and you should be grateful if something has not worked out for you and for somebody else, because that wasn't meant for you. That's just my main thing, is I'm just like, nothing can ever miss me. Like, I have faith that it's just like, as long as I love myself and everybody around me, everything's gonna work out. So you don't want something that's not for you. Okay, don't come
I have
from
one
that
more
mindset.
thing I can
yes
add.
Please.
I also think too, I just want to say, a really good reframe for if you do feel naturally, it's natural to feel jealousy, and especially with other women. If you ever see a female or a woman, you know, experiencing something you want, getting a job you want, having a loving partner, and you wish that was your experience, you crave that, or you see that and you're jealous because it's what you want, because it's what you're meant to have. So instead of like looking at it as like, oh, I'm jealous of that girl, or feeling those mal feelings or emotions towards that person, you get to shift it into something empowering. And that just means that that is what's meant for you too. So you just have to do the work, or not even work, but like just be in alignment to be able to receive that thing. So if you notice off the bat that you're feeling jealous about somebody, that's because it's something that you want. So challenging that within yourself, reframing it, and then, you know, that helps take some of that like negativity off that other woman, and like, you know, clears the lens a little bit. So reshape and reshift, I would say, jealousy.
Definitely. Whenever I see people winning, I'm always like, I'm going to cheer for you and I'm going to be happy for you, because like the day that happens to me, I cannot wait for all my cheerleaders to be right by my side.
God is in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
God is in the neighborhood.
Like, everything's full circle. I'm like, hell yes, I'm so happy for you, because when that happens to me, I'm going to be so happy. And I hope I have my cheerleaders by my side too.
Yep.
That's what I always try to think of. I'm like, yes.
Totally.
I love
Definitely
that.
work. I think that we've all like had the chance to like work on ourselves, so we know like what we can do to like share it and like with the world and like other women. But I mean, you have to start with working on yourself to get to where, I mean, we work hard. Like,
yeah, it's a forever journey. Every time I think that I'm like enlightened, or like I know everything, life checks me, and I'm like, I would not want it any other way though, because I'm like, let's keep leveling up, and you know, we're here to expand, and we're here to evolve, and let's fucking go.
Yes.
That's the way I see it. So Thank you guys so much for this
Thank you for
amazing
having
conversation.
us.
This was
Yeah.
a fun one. Oh my gosh.
It was a fun one. I
I
liked it.
I could not have asked for more loving, insightful women by my side today. So just
you.
once
Thank
again,
you for
thank you from
having
the bottom of
us.
my heart.
Yeah, retweet. So happy
Yeah.
to have you. Thank you for the
Yes.
experience and the opportunity. You were
Yeah.
great.
Oh, yes. And for our listeners, I will go ahead and link ways to contact them below. They also run a group called Flourish, which is an amazing women empowerment group. And I will link that below as well. And thank you guys so much for listening. Until next time, I love you.
Bye.
Bang. Okay, that one went real well. Fuck yeah.
That was fun.
Oh.